Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Goldkey Properties. So, like Eddie mentioned, we've been in business for since 1997, so for close to 3 decades. Okay, so the clicker. Okay. Okay, I'll just speak through it quickly, even though it's so Goldkey has been in business for 3 decades. We are into residential, both residential and commercial development. Our flagship mixed-use development is what you saw in the video, dubbed Cantonment City. It's a mixed-use development, and you see in my presentation more photos of it. Over the last close to 3 decades, we have developed close to 300,000 square meters of both residential and commercial space. We started predominantly in the premium market, which was mainly consisted of cantonments, airport, ridge, and we've diversified into areas like Chado. So our main areas: property development, property sales, leasing, property management, as well as furnishing and fit-out works. Very sorry for the lag in the presentation. So as you saw in our commercial portfolio, these are some of our tenants, both in the residential and commercial. We have the likes of Huawei, PwC that you've seen. We have the US Embassy, GIPC, ENS, Lloyd. I mean, the list goes on for both commercial and residential. What this helps us compared to other developers is that because we have both residential and commercial arm, we're able to leverage on that commercial portfolio. So let's say if PwC was looking for a tenant or looking for space for one of their partners, they would reach out to Goldkey for space, which means our occupancy for both residential and commercial remains higher compared to other developers. So this is Cantonment City, like we discussed. Sorry you're seeing part of my presentation, but as we move forward, I hope it's resolved. So hello? Okay, perfect. So these are some of our residential developments over the last 30 years. What this means as a credible developer is that if you're trying to purchase our new development, you can have a feel of the older ones to give you a sense of what Goldkey is about, to give you a sense of how future development is going to be like. Because if you're purchasing from a developer and you're just looking at the aesthetics, which now you see a lot of billboards, it looks beautiful, but how is the building going to look like in 15 years? How is the edifice going to be maintained? Did they think about how to clean those windows that look so beautiful today? And how does that impact your yield? Where are you going to get? You get tenants for the first 2 years, 3 years, but when things start to break down because property management is not top notch, what happens to your yields? What happens to rentals? It's things to consider when making purchases. So this is our most recent development we just completed. It's called Cantonment City Tower within the Cantonment City complex. I mentioned we saw videos of Cantonment City, the before and after, how it looked before Goldkey did the road and the entire infrastructure. It's mixed use, both commercial, residential, there's retail. We also even have a garden. You don't have that many developers allocating space for just a garden in Accra. You can't even find a park to just sit down and play with the kids. But Goldkey is putting things in place to have spaces like recreational spaces for leisure, not just development. So this is actually the actual picture and the 3D. I think we got it right. Because some developments, you see the curves, but when the building is done, you're not too sure the first brochure they shared with you is the same building you're seeing as well. I'm not throwing any shade, I'm just advising everybody. So this is resilience. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make so much noise, or fortunately for us, because we sold out on this development in Chado quickly. We currently have only 2 remaining, but currently it's all gone. The 2 would be showrooms, which by summer we should be able to see, and that's Resilience in Chado, very close to Blossoms. So when we won the UK, someone in the audience talked about some billboards that went viral a couple of months ago. It had to do with our campaign for Blossoms. So Blossoms is our first development in the segment of comfort range for Goldkey. And because we're entering into this new market, it was very prudent for us to enter, making noise about it, but also letting people understand the location Chado. For many that even live in Accra, they know Chado as behind Trade Fair or Unique Flora or not Cupcake Boutique, the other one, Big Shop Classics. But it was important for us to explain the location Chado and what it signifies. Chado is now moved from the emergent to rubbing shoulders with Cantonments and Laboni. Let me tell you why. It's because from Cantonments or from the Morning Star School to Chado, where this development is, you're looking at maximum 15 minutes. It's become, because of its ease of accessibility in terms of road network, the back road that leads to it, and also the road from towards Labadi, it's made it very easy for people to move to and fro, depending on your location. You're looking at the airport being about 15 minutes away. You're looking at Spintex, East Legon being also very close in terms of location. I was trying to show you the map, but yes, so this, you're looking where you have pink is where Blossoms is. You see Kotoka not too far. You see the beach not too far. You also see Laboni and Cantonment, making it very accessible for tenants who are even in cantonments or people that work in cantonments to live in Chado as well. Its proximity to Labadi Beach gives it that tourism appeal as well. It's not, although not on the coast, very close for you to have sea views from where Blossoms is going to be. So Blossoms is broken down into 2 segments, into what we call Blossom Residence. The idea of the residence and gardens is the residence was tailored to fast travelers, corporate travelers, people that do not necessarily want to stay in a hotel, but want their own space. So we have studios, 1 and 2 bedroom currently selling. Then we have the gardens, which will start selling next year, which is more 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. So this is the quad looking at the garden, 3Ds of that. And for the residence, which is the studio 1 and 2, which you're currently selling, this is how it's going to look like with retail at the bottom. So we also have retail in case anyone is looking to set up retail at the bottom, whether it's a cafe, restaurant, or supermarket. We also have space. Some of the amenities include we have a Pilates studio, we have a gym, we have sort of a co-working area, we have space for events and children's play area, and the list goes on. What's really key for us at Goldkey is because of our property management arm, we maintain that we don't outsource the property management. We do that ourselves. It's done in-house as well. So you're rest assured to have a property that would outlive you. So I'm moving quickly. This is some of the interiors. And I'm moving to the payment plan or the numbers. So for Goldkey, we do not have a fixed payment plan. Out of these 4 options, we also have one that's tailored to you. So we sit down to work out what works for you, and we go with that flow. If this doesn't work, whatever works for you, you can sit with us and we will be able to adjust it accordingly. In terms of your yields, I worked it out so people have an idea of what the yields look like if they should purchase a studio or 1 bed. I looked at 2 different scenarios. 100% occupancy, which is for a risk-averse person looking to purchase for long-term. So you're looking at a long-term for risk-averse in terms of 100% occupancy. And then you have the second option, which is for short-term rentals. we're assuming 8 out of 12 months because it's usually fully packed during seasons like Christmas, Easter, summer. And also for people that want to live in when they come to Ghana. So you do not necessarily want long term, but you want to make sure the space is available for you to live in when you're in the country. So in terms of 100% occupancy long term, for a studio of about 69,000, which is 39 square meters, we're assuming a monthly rate of 850, looking at the when the property is completed, which will give you a yearly income of 10,200 with a yield of 15%. For one bed, 115,000, monthly rent of 1,250, you're looking at yearly income of 15,000 and 13%. This basically is, the studios always have higher yields than the one beds. So we're looking at 15, which is quite high. And assuming 66.7%, which is 8 out of 12 months, for the same one studio and one bed, you're looking at 65 daily rate, 1,950 at a 22% yield, and for the one bed, you're looking at a 21%, and that's for short term. Short term high yield, but it comes with this risk because you're not guaranteed 100% occupancy throughout the year. It was going to say, "Welcome to your new address, the Blossoms." Thank you.